The other thing that we're going to do this week is adding and subtracting polynomials. When adding or subtracting, we can only combine like terms. So they have to be the same number to the same power, or sorry, the same variable to the same power. So if you're adding or subtracting, okay, you can only combine values that have the same letter to the same power. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to look at which ones have the same letter to the same power. So they all have the letter P, but only 2 of them have the same power, right? You have 12p to the third, and you have negative 8p to the third. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to do 12 minus 8. What's 12 minus 8? What's 12 minus 8? 4. So this is going to be 4p cubed. Okay, now this 11p squared, there's nothing else to add it to. Okay, so we're going to write it there. Alright, and then for B, I want you to underline the like terms. Okay, so this is t squared. And then Bree, which other one has t squared in it? Good. Now, if you have just this, remember it's a 1. Okay, so you just have to do 1 minus 4. So what's 1 minus 4? Close? Yep. So negative 3, awesome. Okay, so that's all the t squareds. The next thing I'm going to do is look at s squared. So I have 2s squared minus s squared. Again, there's a 1 in front. So what's 2 minus 1? 1. Okay, so you could write it 1s squared. But really, anytime you have a 1, do we write it in our final answer? No, we just write s squared. So this would be your final answer. Okay, and then sometimes things get a little crazy, like here, and all you need is the same letter to the same power. So see how this is m squared n, m squared n, m squared n? Those are all the same. So all you have to do is 10 plus 4 minus 8. So 10 plus 4 minus 8. We know 10 minus 8 is what? What's 10 minus 8? 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. So your answer is just 6 m squared n. And that's your final answer. Okay, so those are all like terms. Okay, so for the next one, it's asking you to add these together, okay? When you add them together, it is just like what we did for example 1, where you are adding your like terms, okay? You can also arrange them if you want. Like this is 4x squared, this is x squared. If you want to just line them up so you can add them straight down, you can. And then this plus 5 is going to go here. So if you want to add straight down, sometimes that's a great strategy. There's a 1 in front here. So when you add them together, 1 plus 4 is 5, and then your term stays the same. Now, if there's nothing to add to the negative x, that's just going to drop down. And then 6 plus 5 is going to be 11. Okay, now B has a lot of different terms. So what I do is I like to pick the highest exponent first. Okay, so what is our highest exponent here? What's the highest exponent that we see? That's the highest leading coefficient. Yes. So anything that has a to the third, I'm going to underline so that I can add those together. So 5a cubed and 7a cubed. I'm just going to do 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay, and then after a to the third, we're going to look for a to the second. So all I do is I just go through each term. A to the second, yes. Nope. Yes. No, no. Okay, and then I just add the numbers in front. So 3 and 12 is 15. The a squared stays as it is. Okay, after a squared is a to the first. So I'm just going to do -6 and -10. So that's one that a lot of you will probably do on your calculator. So if you do -6 plus -10, okay, you get -16. Whenever you're adding two negatives, it will stay negative. And then don't forget ones that don't have like terms, because at the end here you have this +2. Okay, and then this is your final answer. Okay, so we did do combining like terms earlier this year. We just didn't have a lot with the exponents, and now that we've studied exponents, we're ready to integrate those in. Okay, so adding is just like what we were doing earlier this year, but when you're subtracting, there is one more step. Okay, if you're subtracting, you have to switch all signs behind the negative. You have to switch all signs behind the negative. Now this is the same thing as distributing -1, which we did practice. This is the same as distributing -1, which we did when we were doing elimination. Sometimes we had to just distribute the negative. So when we're switching everything behind the negative sign, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply everything by a negative. So a negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times this negative is positive. And these just happen to be all negative. So a -1 times a -4. You can put a -1 here and multiply if you want to make sure. And then what we're going to do is we are just going to add again your like terms. Once you've done that, it's the same as what we did above. Okay, so we have c cubed plus 3c cubed. Remember, there's a 1 in front. Okay, so this is 4c cubed and here you have -1 plus 1. What happens when you have a -1 and then you add 1? What's a -1 plus 1? 0. So if those are 0, you are not going to have that anymore. If you have 0, those are going to cancel out. Okay, so you don't even have to write anything down if you get 0. And then the last one, you have 2c plus 4c. Okay, so you get 6c. Okay, now sometimes they're going to give you the minus like this, where it's in vertical instead of horizontal. Same thing. Okay, so you're going to distribute this negative. So this is going to be negative 6, a to the 4th. A negative times a negative is going to be a positive. So negative times negative 2, negative 1 times negative 2 is 2a squared. And then negative 1 times a is negative a. So you have to apply that to all three. Once you've distributed the negative, this becomes a plus. Yeah. Okay, and then once you've done that, you can just do 15 minus 6, okay, which is 9. Okay, so you do the 15 minus 6. You do 6 plus 2. What's 6 plus 2? Yeah. And then look at this one. You have a minus a. So what happens there? Yeah. Okay, so if that makes 0, you can cancel that out. Okay, and then we just have this last one here. Okay, so, okay, sit down. We're not done yet. Okay, so if you have the negative, again, you're going to distribute. So you have a negative times x squared, and then a negative times a negative. If ever you multiply a negative by a positive, it becomes negative. But a negative times a negative is what? Plus 9. Yeah? Okay, so all you have to do here is find your like terms. X squared goes with x squared. If you don't see a number in front, you know it's a 1. Okay, and you can do that type of stuff on your calculator if you need to. It's just negative 10 minus 1, and that's the number that goes in front. If there's nothing to add it to, like negative 3x, it stays the same. And then a positive and a positive. And you can just add those together.